Hello and welcome to my channel. I am ZodiacBandit, and today we're going over episode 24 of Critical Role Campaign 3, the last Critical Role episode I think it's almost 5 weeks, which sucks. It really sucks. But this episode was really good and a really fun way to send off for the next few weeks, so without further ado, let's get into it. The fourth and final day of travel to Bassuras starts. Orem is the first one up, and he comes out to the bow of the deck and sees some dust clouds off in the distance, or regular clouds. It's kind of hard to tell the difference. Xandus still isn't at the helm. It's the first mate that is there. Orem then sees a dust cloud on the ground below them, and it's chasing a caravan. Orem sees a creature inside the dust cloud following said caravan, and he wants to help, so he runs and gets everyone up from their beds. This gets Xandus to come to the helm of the ship, and they take the helm, and realizes that it's a Dustra, a massive creature that lives in the Hellcatch Valley, and usually aren't hostile creatures and are typically vegetarian. So it's kind of strange that this thing is attacking a caravan. The party get ready to help as Ashton, Chetney, and Fern grab the ballistas and the harpoons, and load the harpoons with chains on them. Xandus begins to nosedive the ship to give them a chance to fire at this creature. Chetney, before shooting, blows the horn of silent alarm, and they can't tell if it worked or not, which to me seemed very fitting, but Matt made it seem like they'd been swindled, so who knows, maybe. I think they should have tested it out later, but they didn't. The party begin harpooning. Chetney misses, but Ashton hits his, and a few beats later, eventually Fern fires hers and gets it as well. Imogen starts to fly toward the caravan, but changes her mind and starts going closer to the creature itself after it's been harpooned, and casts either command or calm emotions. Didn't catch which one, but I'm almost positive it was command. And it's successful. It works, and it allows her to sort of calm the creature so she can start looking into its mind and sees why the creature is attacking the caravan. And it's revealed that someone or something took or killed the Dustra's babies. And Matt makes it very clear that it's likely not the caravan it's chasing, because the caravan's not big enough for carrying creatures of that size, because the Dustra itself is massive, and likelihood of its babies being rather large as well is very good. So probably not on the caravan is what Matt says. And it seems that this Dustra is attacking anything that it sees with pure blind rage. The party asks Xandus to fly the creature in the opposite direction of the caravan to allow them to get to safety on a bed of rocks off in the distance. They try to pull it away. Xandus then asks the party to add magic to the brimstone somehow. They aren't sure how exactly they're supposed to do this, but if you increase the magic power on the brimstone that makes the thing fly, maybe it'll work. Ashton punches it and exclaims that they have magic, so punching it is what he does, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. They eventually get all 3 harpoons into the creature, and with the magic that they help put into the brimstone, start flying the opposite direction with the Dustra. They drop all the chains once they're a distance away, and the Dustra begins to leave in a completely opposite direction of the caravan. They go down, land with the caravan for a bit, see if they can get some payment for helping, and they only get 7 copper, some fleece, and some apples, which, good for them. After that, Xandus puts them back on course to the city of Bassuras, and the flight goes well after that. The full day of travel takes place. They make it to the city of Bassuras with a strangely lit skyline, as Matt put it, lights from the city are emitting from it, and they get spotted by a spotlight, which worries Xandus. So Xandus quickly lands, gets the party off the ship, and tells them that they need to give Xandus 1 day of warning before they can come pick up the party. Then Xandus quickly leaves as skyships that land too close to Bassuras and stay for way too long get ripped apart by the gangs there. A few minutes after the party land, they start walking to the city. A group of riders on metal beast-like horses begin roaring up to them. One is leading the pack with a second person on the vehicle. They all have tattoos on their elbows and black scarves on. They start asking the party questions, but Ashton quickly sort of takes the lead and drops the name Greymore, which sort of gets this guy off their backs. And it seems that the party is allowed entry without too much trouble from these guys. But before the riders take off again and start revving up their crawlers, which is pretty cool, Ashton asks if Death Wish is still a thing, which the guy says, of course it is, or of course they are, which is really cool. And there's a lot of mystery now from just that alone. More mystery to Ashton, more mystery to the city, more mystery to the crawler gangs. I am excited for more of this Mad Max crazy style shit. I'm so looking forward to the next 4 weeks, or at least after the next 4 weeks. After that, they enter the city and basically see a trash city is what I sort of got the vision of. Buildings made of whatever to suit the need of the time. Some are built around other buildings, and some buildings are very old. Some seem to have been built in the last 10 years, and none of them have like some sort of matching, look to them. It's not like a neighborhood. It's I put this building here, you put this building here. They look nothing alike, but they're both here now. And it seems to be this throughout this city, which seems really interesting to me. Ashton explains a bit more about the city as well. And the main takeaway from the conversation was the inns in Bassuras are kind of different from most inns. They're semi-inns mixed with malls, and these malls are like open court concepts, I guess. Ashton begins to take them toward one that he knows of, or that they know of, that would be the best one, as they put it. They make their way to one of these inns Ashton knows, that Ashton knows about. They walk past a workshop that is seemingly building or repairing one of these metal beast-like vehicles. And at this point is when I realized, watching the episode, that these must be the crawlers that these gangs take their name from. And to me, I hope we get to see them steal one of these, or even better, make one they can all fit on. I think that would be even cooler. And I think if you were to like somehow be able to plug FCG into it and he controls or they control it, I think that would be really sick. At the same time, I would like to see everybody control this thing, but I just thought of like, because FCG is also a semi-construct, that this would be a nice moment for him to be like upgraded, I think that would be kind of funny. They get their rooms at this inn and they get food, but instead of doing anything else that day, they elect to go to their room and rest, and they have people on watch that will watch the ball that shows Armand Treshy's location, or the direction he's in, which is currently southwest of them. On watch, they have Fern first, who kind of just creeps on FCG a little bit. FCG then kind of does their thing for a little while until they see a bird land on the outside, or hear a bird land on the outside, which prompts FCG to wake up Chetney, which is the most important part of the night, where Chetney gets up and looks at this bird, sees a regular hawk, and then is told about a bird that constantly torments FCG, one that is constantly flying around them, shitting on them whenever it can, just being a downright nuisance to FCG, and FCG absolutely fucking hates this bird. They think that this bird is out to get them, with good reason if they're constantly being shit on by it. Totally makes sense to me. Uh, because of this, they create a bond for FCG's class, which I thought was kind of funny because Chetney says he'll protect him from the bird, and the secret and the protection vow is enough to create a bond between them, which is nice for Chetney, as Chetney gets to expand his horizons into the rest of the party, which I feel like Chetney FCG is a conversation we don't see very often, so that was kind of neat. When everyone else wakes up, Laudna looks at pate and sashimi to see if they've had some sexy time. To which Matt says no, they've just been kind of chilling. Afterwards, Chetney gives the next gift, which was initially going to be a girlfriend for Pate, but then they picked up sashimi, and then he gave them a house so that they can have privacy for their, quote, sexy time. So, who knows? They start to make their way toward the other inn, or other inn mall thing that Ashton knew about, which is called a Taste of Taldore. And apparently, Ashton hates this place. So, which to me sounds like it's very much, we aren't rebels. We aren't punk. It's very, I don't know if I want to say it's uptight, maybe, but based on him, maybe it's, it follows the man, That's, I get the feeling that Ashton is very much against the man, so maybe that's why he hates it. And in a place like Bassuras, to be for the man or to listen to the man as they are, would be kind of strange for this city from what we've seen so far. So maybe that's why Ashton hates it. Who knows? I get the feeling that Laudna might also effing hate it, but you never know. On the way over to Taste of Taldore, they hear somebody in an alley getting a shakedown. The person getting a shakedown is a elf, and they're being shaken down by 5 other people. Ashton rushes in to aid them, which prompts everyone else to help. And then the elf is revealed to be a guest player, Erika Eshi. I didn't pick up her last name, so hopefully I'm saying it right. Yeah, it's cool. I'm super excited to have another guest character that wasn't from EXU. As much as I loved Robbie, I really enjoy seeing a new, fresh face. I don't know if Erika has ever been on an episode of Critical Role. Maybe she was in a one-shot. I don't think she was in either campaign 1 or 2. So, nice to see a new face. Very exciting to see. Yeah, simple as that. This is what prompts combat to start as they rush in to aid Erika's character. There's not much going on for this combat, weirdly. This was kind of probably the weakest combat in all of Campaign 3 so far for me. Erika, at the beginning, her character Thundersteps, which to me is always cool. I like spells that do many things, like make loud noise and teleport. Ashton gets a spell cast on them that makes them see another version of themselves and is fearful of it. And then Ashton also gets smacked by a mind spell for some insane damage, which I think shows that Ashton is still susceptible to psychic damage. So that's scary for a barbarian. I don't know which barbarian subclasses resist psychic damage, if any at all. But yeah, that is a true weapon against the barbarian still. 3 campaigns in a row. Wisdom, saves, and psychic damage. Can't wait to see more of that. Hopefully they don't run into mind flayers. Imogen uses the wild magic gem after using a sorcery point and loses all of her fucking hair. This is one of the things that I goddamn hate about wild magic or anything that does sort of stuff like this. I hate when something is completely out of your control. Granted, this was actually more so in her control than regularly because apparently she can choose when to use this thing. However, it's still very random, so I'm still peeved because one of the things that sucks for a player, and I'm sure most of players would agree, is cosmetic changes to your character without your control. This is always annoying. Yeah, I don't know how else to put it. Losing that is one of Imogen's defining features. Like changing her skin color to blue, whatever. Getting rid of her purple hair is devastating to the artists that have been drawing her. Just the image that Laura has in her brain about what Imogen's doing. Now she has to do something. Think about, if she's thinking about it the way I would think about things, which is to watch an anime cutscene during combat. She would think about it, think about her character with hair, and then realize, oh fuck, I don't have fucking hair anymore. I look like a Q-tip. And I love this because it's so chaotic, and I love chaos and Critical Role. It perfectly fits. My dog is barking. It perfectly fits. So it's really shitty that it has to come at the expense of a character design. And I damn well know people are going to enjoy making drawings of this regardless, but there's so much fan art, amazing fan art of her with the hair up until this point that it's going to suck seeing that on pause for a little while. But I will like to see some fan art of her hair growing back out slowly, so that'll be cool. And maybe they'll just outright bypass it and somebody will cast some sort of hair illusion spell on her until her hair is long enough to where she's comfortable with it. Or maybe this will be a nice little character side plot for her to be like, I'm no longer subconscious about my hair. But who knows, and who really cares? I guess I do. Just went on a huge tangent for that. After combat, Fern runs off to a tent in a nearby alley and sees a woman getting high during her lunch. Yeah, that was really... I must have missed something there because that was really fucking random to me. That she just ran to this tent and there was a dude passed out in front of it, a sword on the inside of it, and some old woman smoking. Or enjoying smoke from a bowl or a smell. I don't do drugs, so I don't know. I don't know if there's a real drug like that. I mean, who knows? I don't. After that, Erica's character introduces herself as Dusk, or themselves as Dusk, and says that she is from the Feywild and is not sure what part of her life is real and what part of it isn't, and she doesn't remember much, which is always an interesting character trope, and I'm intrigued to see where it goes. Fern also returns at this point and sort of points out that that she is also from the Feywild, so that's really cool too. Nice connections. I'm liking this campaign seems to have a lot of people coming from the Feywild, and I'm really excited about that because to me, that means that in campaign 1, when they created a door for our tagging to leave, it also opened the door for more people to leave, and that is interesting. I like the idea of campaigns affecting each other like that in subtle ways instead of outright putting a character in there. So yeah, I like this subtle idea that possibly Vox Machina is to blame for more of these fake creatures to come through. At the same time, you could also blame Thordak, but I'm not going to get into that. After they add Dusk to the party, they make their way, or begin to make their way, to Taste of Teldore, which is where the episode ends, and we don't get to see what Taste of Teldore is like for 4 weeks minimum. This hurts my soul. Granted, I am excited for EXU Calamity. It's not Abria DMing, so she doesn't get to redeem herself yet, but she gets to be a player, so I'm super excited about that, to see what she's like as a player. And I've never seen Brennan DM, so admittedly I've never watched like more than a couple of snippets from Dimension 20, so seeing him here will be cool, and I'm excited to see Travis and Marisha get to be a part of EXU now, as that means everybody except... Oh, and Sam. That means everybody except Talzin and Laura will have been a part of EXU stuff. So they'll be next, which will be interesting. And this is what I've thought EXU should have been from the beginning, because it's called Exandria Unlimited. And to me, that means there's unlimited stories to be told across history, across the current timeline, in different places. So I've always thought that this is how EXU should have been, instead of doing the same group twice. But I do have to admit, I wanted to see Dorian's story continue, and Dariax and Opal again. So I'm not going to complain that I got that. But I do think this is what EXU is truly meant to be, a collection of different groups going and going and going and going as we add more players, people, DMs. I think that's going to be awesome. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about episode 24 of Critical Role Campaign 3. And I like this episode. I loved seeing the crawlers for the first time, and they weren't necessarily in a combative sense, so I'm excited as all hell to see what it's like for them in combat, and I'm also excited to see the mini combat for these crawlers, so that's also super exciting. So yeah, without further ado, that was episode 24 of Critical Role Campaign 3. I will see you guys on Tuesday with my next video. I'm going to take a break from my Will These Characters Return series, and I'm going to focus on something else because I have a lot of room to work with for the next 4 weeks, as I will not be doing weekly reviews of Calamity. I'm going to wait for it to be done and then give my thoughts on it. So yeah, I will see you guys Tuesday. Peace.